Clap sync.
And Beth, you tried. I saw you
I
flinch
know.
for it.
She
You gotta be quick on it.
We're gonna get
on
her
these
eventually.
parts.
All right. Quit joshing around, guys.
Blue team says go.
Welcome to a very blue episode of the F Movie Podcast. Email got sent. Not everybody got it. We're your hosts, Annabeth Mason, Dylan, Jill, and Nathan. On today's show, what are we talking about, Nathan?
Prey.
Like,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Commonly
Or like-
confused.
you know,
There's
Yeah.
a lot of movies named Prey. Which
There
one do you
are.
watch?
yeah. Which one did we watch?
This one's from 2022, not to be mistaken for Prey 2021 or Prey 2024.
I think there's also 2019, maybe.
I thought that was the 2017 one.
I'm hoping one of you watched the wrong Prey,
We
just
thought we
because it
did
would
that
make
one
an
time.
interesting conversation.
We all
That-
watch different Prey.
No, we have done this one time
we've-
before.
We've done that as a joke before.
Yeah,
Oh,
with,
right.
Psycho and
Mhm.
American Psycho.
American
Yeah.
Psycho, not the
Yeah.
British version.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, this is Prey, the one that will have to go ahead and spoil it.
Yeah.
And it does spoil it very
Pretty
early
quickly.
on. It
Yeah.
tips its hand
Spoiler?
way too soon.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, I
How
feel
is
like
it a
it was...
spoiler?
In the trailers, they don't give you
it's like
any
in
of
the
it.
first
trailer
5
not give
minutes.
that?
The trailer gives you
Oh.
nothing about it going on, but the movie,
It's-
The,
First 10
the movie
minutes.
tips its hand
too
too
quick.
quick.
Yes.
But this movie is part of the Predator franchise.
Surprise!
And
not a surprise.
The
Yeah.
heaviest tip of the hand is whenever they do the title card and it's in the font of the Predator movies.
yeah.
Which
Also,
would
I
have,
think
like,
if
there's
you're-
something. I feel like I'm gonna just immediately start tearing this thing apart.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things where it's just like, well, that's a cool idea, and then there's so many other ways in which they just like fail with this
Mm.
movie. So it's gonna be a lot.
Okay.
It's not a spoiler now, because if you just go try and watch it on Hulu, which is the only place you can watch it,
You can watch on
you
Disney
know
Plus.
immediately before the movie starts that it's about a predator.
So one thing to touch on with the poster of this movie, I think they did a great job. It's got this like gooey green, stuff on her
Mm.
face, whatever. But it's also got, and it's so faint, is like the 3 red dots.
Yeah.
In like just the tiniest little part of like her forehead, and I never noticed it before.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, to Nathan's point, it does maybe within the first 10 to 15-ish minutes.
We see the
You see
the
the-
ship floating
yeah.
through the clouds.
Well, that, but also like
Oh,
there's,
and
like
the
the
aliens
invisibility
just
sort of like
the
I don't
cloak.
know. Yeah.
Yeah, so we get our Predator hand shown pretty quickly, but I want to talk about some of the positives on this one before we leap right into like there's some criticisms for sure, and like Nathan's got more than one, but I want to start with the first strength for me, which is our main actress's name, which is Amber Midthunder, and man,
Yeah.
That's the actress's name, not the character's
Yeah, it's not
That's-
the character's name, but
yeah, that's what
it's-
that's what I mean. Yeah,
Which,
cool.
I mean,
name.
the actress name
The
is
stage,
cool.
yeah, great name. Just want to hit that note really quickly before I inevitably forget her name. But no, I think we start off in a really cool setting. I like the idea of like this feels like a movie that had a plot premise that landed for me, and
Oh yeah, premise. I'm
crushed it.
sold.
Yeah.
Like premise, I was interested. That's the reason it was put on the list.
Right.
Was for the premise.
This is what I wanted out of like The Revenant. Not it didn't need to necessarily be like Predator, like hunting like Leo.
Imagine if
Predator hunting.
the Revenant was actually a Predator franchise.
You know what? I would have had a great time with that.
3
movie.
hours of.
I would have been way better, honestly. The
Yeah,
Revenant.
same.
With all the pretty shots, and this movie was doing that, but gave us an alien hunting things as well.
Speaking of pretty shots, one thing I will say for Price,
Mhm.
and a thing that he would be saying about that is
Yeah.
that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah,
You're
it's
like
not
trying to
fair.
lift
It's just
your movie
Montana
up
or
with,
whatever.
with unfair, just like look at the scenery. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you fucking said anything somewhere scenic to try and lift it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Doesn't
but so
necessarily
many
carry
movies
it.
nowadays don't even bother to do that. They're just like, let's go in a studio and get an ugly green screen.
true.
So,
Good point.
props
Is
to
it
them for
definitely,
filming
like,
something in the
on-
real
on
world.
location.
Yeah.
They were not in the right location.
Well,
No.
Well,
Where were
yeah.
they? What state was it in?
So they were in Canada.
mm.
Is
Mm.
where
Ah,
they filmed this.
yeah.
Well,
And they
Canada's
claimed that
pretty.
it was the Comanche who didn't even live in the area that they were portraying
They were
at
not.
all.
Mm.
They lived in like Texas.
Yeah.
Mm.
Harsh stuff.
so-
We learned that in Hell or High Water.
Yeah.
That's a callback to
Um,
that review. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Link right here.
So
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
a lot
right.
of inaccuracies and anachronisms abound in this movie.
Yeah, but I mean, who knew they were in Canada? Until you had to go look it up.
Please, yeah.
I go
Yeah,
there
I
all
mean,
the time.
that-
I'm gonna be there next week, and I didn't know.
Like it's just it said that they filmed there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's not like you immediately know, like, oh, well, this is the wrong place.
Mhm.
But it is just something first, just like, okay, so you have native actors, and, like, you're going for this whole, like, trying to, like, be grounded and
Mhm.
real and everything, but you're like, why did it have to be the Comanche? Couldn't it have
Yeah.
been a tribe native to the area in which you were filming?
It
Yeah,
absolutely could.
that
Like,
would've
you just
been
wanted the
easier.
name recognition.
The Comanche is like the sexiest name. It's closest to
You know what's-
Camacho, which makes me feel good.
Yeah,
You know, so-
really,
Weren't-
really going for you as the
Yeah.
audience.
Weren't like the white man? Weren't they like shouting in French?
They were.
Yeah,
They were the
yeah.
French Congo
So-
one, yeah.
Even more reason to set it in Canada,
In Canada.
where they filmed it.
So they're not entirely
Well,
out of.
Well, Canada would have been French.
I mean, there were Frenchmen.
I mean,
out
there
in
were.
the
Yeah, French
Americas.
hunters.
Oh,
yeah,
the
for
Pacific
sure.
Islands at the time.
But it's also inaccurate that the French were like hunting bison the way they were.
Yeah.
Apparently, that's not
Yes, getting
correct
it
to the
whole.
time frame. Like
Yeah.
that didn't really start happening till like 50, 60 years after when it was set.
But also, that was a whole herd of bison.
Yeah.
With nothing like eating on
No,
it or anything.
no, they weren't
And-
in it
and
for the meat.
Like at first, I feel like they wanted to make you think like, did the predator do all this?
That's
Like,
exactly
oh
what they're
no,
doing.
And it's like,
no, it's not the
no.
predator, it's the white man.
Right. I mean, I will s-
Frenchman.
Yeah, the Frenchman.
Well-
Hey.
To be clear.
I mean,
Yeah.
We don't play.
newsflash.
We don't
Yeah.
play. We don't play.
I will say
Alright.
overall though, yeah, they didn't probably need to have the bison scene. It felt like one of those ones that like made a cool shot, you know, and gives us a little bit of
I
like
don't really
questioning.
think it was that cool. Like, all right, so if we want to talk about like animals and stuff in this,
Yeah.
did you all like the look of like any of the animals because they were
The dingo,
to me,
little dog?
Little dogs.
I like
the
the
actual
dog.
dog.
The real
yeah.
dog is
Yeah.
fine,
Yeah.
but
All the
everything
CG
else
animals
is
were-
so over the
I've
top
seen worse.
CG.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't, like, it was very obviously CG, but, like, I didn't like it, but I also didn't hate it.
It took me out of every single moment.
I was with Nathan. It took me out of it, but in fairness, I'm probably somewhere between you and Jill in that it took me out, but it didn't take me out because it was so bad. It was just that I was like, that's CG, but it's okay.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just a coyote and a rabbit, right? Like it
Coyote,
There's
was.
a
rabbit,
lion,
bear,
No,
snow
it was
lion.
Every animal
mountain
except the
lion.
dog and
I
the
forgot about the bear,
dead
yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
The bear was.
The bear actually came out to be
The
pretty
bear?
okay looking.
I thought the bear was
They
fun.
did
You know,
better with the bear.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen a bear up close yet. Well, I mean, I have at a zoo, but
That-
Yeah.
you
You
know.
wouldn't want to see this bear up
Yeah,
close.
No.
I think
exactly.
the look was fine. It was,
Yeah.
They're weirdly bright for
Yeah.
the
Mm.
lighting setting, but mostly it was in the movement. It felt very fake.
Right.
They took that from Avatar. That whole like it like fighting the trunk of the tree limbs
Mhm.
and stuff. That's exactly
Oh,
where.
are you talking about
Jake
the moment
Sully.
where she's like in the beaver dam that's
Yeah.
somehow built in a way that she can just like
Go
swim
under and then
right
out.
into
Yeah.
the beaver
or
dam?
something like that? I think it was like
What
above
beaver's
ground,
making
yeah.
their whole human size for the interior
big
of their
beaver.
lodge?
Beavers
They
are
were. It's a
big.
work in progress. This is before the French came in and started messing with their dams all the way.
Yeah.
It used to be hollow on the inside. Actually, that's
Mm.
that's the history class I took. For the sake of this movie, and no, I think the other part of this that's like probably worth covering is the tribe and the characters, because I think that this movie does a good job of like setting all of it up and then making it feel like I don't know, 8 out of 10 of these guys kind of suck. Simplified, 4 out of 5. Most of the time they're just kind of like frat bro natives, and they are just treating the main character awful, and it feels like the only one that's like redeemable is her brother. Is
Even
that-
he's like only barely redeemable.
He's like so. Like he has
I feel like
moments.
he was kind of an ass.
He was on at the like bonfire thing when he had to bring her home, but to be fair, he did have to like bring her home, and he's like, I need you to kind of like riff with me here, and she's just like, no, and he's like, all right, fine, I won't lie, I took a couple of your strats, they were pretty sick, bro. Like,
These were like amplified Team Jacob members. You know,
yeah.
like these were like if
He gets that
Bella
reference now that
had
he
gone
watched
with
Solo.
with Jacob, these
This
were
would've
his
been
crew.
that.
You
Yeah.
know, like I don't really like your friends very much, Jake. You know,
Yeah, the
Like,
most
do you think
likable
they
guy
like
was
me?
the
You know?
right. The most likable guy was the guy who took a shit, and then like the predator was like, not a threat.
yeah.
Yeah.
Phase resistant stun.
Yeah. My
Uh,
headcanon for the record is that because he was holding it right there to like keep himself up on the squat, that predator was like, if he was just using quads, maybe, like but because he braced himself,
Since
he was just like not even a threat.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. I thought they were a little bit too alpha macho for me
Pretty
because she's like,
abrasive. Yeah.
I don't know.
I didn't really like any of the characters in this story.
No?
including the main character.
Not even our main one.
I actually really didn't like the main
The
character.
mom was fun.
Yeah, I liked the mom or the mother figure. Was she actually their mom?
Yeah, I think
or
it
like
was their mom,
grandma?
yeah.
Or
I think it
okay.
was their mom.
I think it was their mom. I liked their mom.
Yeah.
She was the best character besides the dog.
Yeah.
The dog and the mom.
And the movie, spoiler, did not kill the dog, so
Yeah.
good job.
Hey, it got half a point for that when I was thinking about what my
I
score
thought
is
it
going
was
to
gonna be
be.
toast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did too.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
went on
the
like
dog's gonna fight the predator.
doesthedogdie.com or whatever it is, and I was like, I
I
gotta
believe
find out
this
if
is a
this
site.
dog. No, it really is.
After John Wick, I absolutely believe
Yeah.
this is a...
No.
They made it for John Wick and
Yeah.
beyond.
Probably. What's it called? Like,
Does the dog?
is it called Does the Dog Die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can go on there and see if an animal is gonna die in your
the
movie you're watching.
Yeah.
So I was like, this dog's toast. Let me check, and it didn't die.
They're
so
like
that
snake,
was
bison, bear, all
yeah,
died.
but the
Rabbit,
dog's
coyote.
fine.
Yeah.
Literally
Yeah.
every other animal.
Every
in the
other
story.
animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for maybe the fish that was being held by the hawk.
Oh, that's
Hawk
true,
got shot.
yeah.
He dropped that fish.
Yeah.
No, but they later killed the fish because they, they wanted. They ate the.
Oh,
I think they
I'd say
take
the
that.
bear probably
You
ate
think
the fish.
Yeah,
It,
the
it,
bear
it
eats the
lands
fish.
on land. It
Circle
doesn't
of
go
life.
flop into the water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Fish dies too,
Mm.
But the dog doesn't. That's the
but
important
the
thing.
dog does not.
Oh, but we were talking about the characters.
Yeah, let's talk, so Nathan, you didn't like the main character. How did
much
whatever her
better.
face Mid Thunderland with everybody else? I'm curious on that.
I didn't care for her either.
So after the movie went off, Jill and I
And
basically
coined a great term.
coined the term girl cringe. It's
Uh-huh.
like when you've got like girl power, but to like an awful degree where you're
Mm.
like, I'm sad, I'm a girl now.
I did want to say girl power at least 10 times during this
Right?
podcast, so
And
we're already on
that's-
the
that's
right
So-
where
track.
we get
Yes.
to girl cringe.
That's
Yeah.
when you get to girl cringe, which
I
is
think
when
the
it's like over the top
problem here-
girl power.
Dang.
Mm.
To me, the problem is this was written by 3 men,
Uh-huh.
and it was men writing women.
Yeah.
And it was men writing women to have the women want to be like the men instead of just
So
be
recipe
Yes.
for success, clearly.
Right.
which
Traditionally.
lands awfully.
Yeah.
Like, you can't like this character.
Well,
I
okay.
like her.
Did we
I
like
kind of thought she was
Alicia Vikander as Tomb Raider? Did we like, some of those other types of
Yeah.
characters where
So-
it's
yeah,
like,
those hit way better.
okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this is
see,
below
don't
that
know.
bar.
I'll say with our main character on this one, I ended up liking her, but I think on unfair criticisms, I think you guys are right where it does feel too forced. It is a little too like you should like her because this and this. But I ended up liking her. I think maybe because like the actress themselves are just kind of like pretty charming, and the in betweens where it doesn't feel like we're forcing the character. There's the moments of just like her hanging out with the dog or her just kind of doing stuff like that. And those little moments like that, I'm kind of here for this.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
thought she was a good actress.
Right.
Oh yeah, the acting's fine.
I like the character like okay enough. It's just the over the topness in the writing of like I want to prove myself,
Yeah.
and just the whole
I hate that story.
that type of
like,
character
every
where they're
time
just
like
gonna-
a character that insists on proving themselves
Yeah.
all the time.
At
It's
the
like,
detriment of
I-
everybody
yeah,
else.
they keep
Well,
doing
I don't like
stupid
that
things.
She
shit.
was having to prove herself because those
mean,
boys
yeah, but
were
yeah.
terrible.
Because of
Yeah.
how
They
wrote
were
it.
terrible.
Exactly.
They
True.
could have wrote it to where they were way more chill about things,
Right.
and it wasn't this whole like girl
I
having
have
to
to-
prove herself.
Yeah.
Too bad I was
Which-
born a girl kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's essentially what it was.
Oh yeah.
And I think like the part that I get frustrated the most with the movie and this character is that how often the shitty characters kind of kept getting proven right, like so she's competent and capable, yes, but then it's like the movie continually also shows us that she's not and that there's fair
Mhm.
criticisms
Oh, like a lot.
like a
I
lot,
kept thinking she's
yeah.
like she's useless. Why does she think she's ready
She-
for this?
she gets
she's
a hatchet,
failing at everything.
and she's like killing these trees, no problem at all, right? But
Cannot
then
hit a
like
rabbit.
but the rabbit doesn't miss the rabbit, and then she
Like,
gets
how
like the
did you
rat
think she's
rabbit.
ready for this test to go hunt something that hurts her when she can't hit
Kill
a
the
rabbit?
rabbit, right.
She's also choosing to hunt with an axe.
And the
Yeah.
powers
This is a terrible choice.
This is like this is an anime term I'll use in this one. The power scaling feels disingenuous by the end of the film, right? Because the beginning of the film, this is all within a couple days.
Yeah, I mean, if you talk about power scaling, whenever she's in the French camp and
Yeah.
is just like swinging around, just slaying
Yeah.
people like
she
crazy,
just kills
it's like,
everybody.
what just happened?
Right.
Because that
I
is
mean, she
not
has
that
proven
same
that
character.
she can hit a tree with an axe really well.
Yeah, and
So-
people are
And
like
And
that
these
like
people
trees.
are more like trees than
Also.
rabbits.
Yeah.
They're very big.
Right.
With a flint axe, it also would have broken. if it
Yeah.
hit.
Listen, no,
Right.
that thing's invincible.
I'm very of the opinion
It's the
that
same
her
pickaxe
weapon
from-
choices are terrible.
Yeah.
Well, each weapon, she progresses so fast. As soon as she's handed a gun, I mean, she has like one tiny altercation, and then she's like, I understand gun.
yeah.
You
I
know,
don't
like,
know because
talk,
she
I
tries
mean.
to.
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
almost
Yeah.
uses it like
Yeah.
6 times.
And then she just, you know what?
Yeah.
And that's more gun restraint than 95% of Americans. Can I get an amen?
Yeah, was anybody paying attention? Did she have trigger discipline?
Mason, you would have been the one that would be looking.
Why did
you-
they hold
did you
it
like
at
it
the
was the
end?
same
What was
one
that all
from
about?
whichever
They just
Ralph
Predator movie?
something.
I just thought it was neat.
Or did
You
you
know,
not like
I
that?
saw that was maybe supposed to be a thing, but it's
What?
not really confirmed, and it doesn't look exactly the same.
Isn't
What
it like
is
the
it?
same like the gun that she's handed is
That's
supposed to be the
nice.
same gun in one of the other
I think
Predator
it's in
movies?
Predator.
Oh.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
It did show it at the very end, like whenever she handed it to the other tribe.
It would
said,
make
like,
sense
Raph-
for it
it was
to shoot
so
it.
Raphael
close up, it was
something.
clearly supposed to be something.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
supposed to be, but apparently it doesn't look exactly the same. I haven't looked to compare.
Well, give
Well,
things a couple hundred years, and they, you know.
That's
they-
the thing. It
Well,
probably
that's
wasn't the
possible.
same gun. It was probably just a creator of like another type of arm or something. Because
yeah.
no one was gonna use a muzzle loader, pistol.
I would have liked to see her use a blunderbuss though, like the full like tuba guns, you know. I wanted it to get a little sillier at times, to be honest. But to be honest, I think the movie holds its ground really well on keeping the tone of like the Predator always feels pretty threatening, even when it feels like it's kind of fighting
I
for
mean,
us at times.
The issue that I had with it, that Predator can do anything
Yeah.
it wants. I mean, throughout this entire movie, it is choosing to play the slow game, and it's choosing to play like I'm not gonna tip my hand all the way just
It
yet.
knows it's the apex predator.
Yeah,
Well, it's
right?
being
Like-
very like silly in its approach to a lot of fights because at times it'll just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna extremely overpower this situation,"
Yes.
Yeah.
and then at other times it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna fight
I'm
fair
gonna trip
now."
through it, yeah, and I'm gonna kind of
Right.
show some weakness.
I don't
Also,
know.
one of the biggest problems I have with it is it uses its self-destruct.
Oh, the
Bracer.
bracelet thing. Oh.
Early on,
Like, yeah, which
Yeah.
big no-no.
Yeah.
Like, as predators go, it has to keep that in order to destroy itself so that it's not, like, leaving evidence if something goes awry. So
Right.
the fact that it does that is
This is-
the reason why she gets to, like, carry its head back
do
to
you
the
think
camp
that
and
that's an
everything.
early
Right,
like,
this
an
is early on,
thing?
and then it's like, oh, that became code after like the 1700s our time,
Yeah,
right?
like now we know what not to do.
I
Yeah.
thought I heard that this predator is supposed to be like feral, as in like different from other predators,
Oh, maybe
like
oh,
separate
Maybe-
from
the
whatever
pack.
community they
Yeah.
have.
Maybe this predator is like the young, stupid predator trying to prove itself.
Yeah.
I mean,
To
I
the
think
rest
that is,
of the
like, the point of
predators.
the
There's a
movie
bunch of
is, like, it's
dickhead,
doing
like,
the
It's,
same
older
it's
thing
alpha
that she
parallel,
does.
man. Oh, okay.
Which-
See, I like this headcanon a lot more.
Yeah, I mean that actually would make if they could have like noted that in any kind of way,
Right.
it could
Yeah,
have been
that'd be hard to
interesting.
note.
Yeah, but
Because that requires any sort of
makes sense
communication.
because that's the thing is the predators are coming there to hunt.
Right.
So like it's the same kind of story I guess
I would-
as our main character.
I kind of get the perspective, like my headcanon for the Predator, which I like this one more, the young, like, Amber Midthunder of Predators, you know, but I like the idea of that, but, like, while I was watching it, it felt like it was more like, why do Predators do this to begin with? And I'm like, I feel like they're just going to kind of, like, check out things and be a better Predator, right? Like, to always just be, like, learning the different styles of
I liked
hunting and
Nathan's,
things.
choice in describing them as like African big game hunters,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
going to go kill stuff because they want to feel macho.
Right. And I think that there's a part of that, too. Like, there's just a machismo to, like, being that, but
if you've seen Predator 2, you'll know that is definitely the case
Oh,
because
good.
they have a T-Rex skull hanging in their spaceship.
To be
Or
fair, if you
they
could
have
hunt a
it.
T-Rex, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
That would be sweet.
I mean, look, I'm not gonna go after the elephant people. Fuck off with that. But T-Rex, uninstinct it. Let me have my chance. Anyways, and if I go, that is honestly as close of a glory
That's
death
gonna be
as I'll
good.
ever
Yeah,
get.
that's gonna be a good game.
Died doing what he loved, getting eaten by
Dinosaurs.
T-Rex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, but I think that the one scene in specific that sticks out to me that kind of develops like Predator characters was his fight with the bear, and you know they're kind of going at it, and the bear's got the upper hand for like the first half of that fight, you know, like and it's a quick little like 1 minute fight, mind you, it's more of a tussle, but like the bear's just like showing its apex predator levelness, and then you see like the predator kind of be like, all right, I'm sick of this, and chucks the bear comes at it, and then just kind of one shots it, you know what I mean? And it's like, okay, so that feels like kind of what I should be expecting from this character. Like, could they absolutely just murder everybody on the spot so quickly and easily? Yes, but it's kind of in it for the game. It's kind of in it to learn, and this is more of like its purpose here, right? Like, it's not here to just kill things. It's here to really kind of make a game of it. And then, the perk is, like, sometimes they underestimate their prey and then they get got. He's a dupee by the time this is all said and done.
I do like that the Predator's downfall was that it never saw her as a threat.
Yes,
Just like everyone in
yeah.
her tribe never saw her as like competent enough.
That's like the
So-
best part of the movie.
Yeah.
Just that
Yeah.
idea.
Mm-hmm.
The through line
Like-
theme that it's like, yeah, but then kind of where I'm like with you guys on the girl cringe part of it though is that it does feel like it's like, and I don't know if Price he would say this. It sounds like something he would say. They hit the nail a little too hard on that theme,
Mm-hmm.
where they're
It was
just like,
telling, not showing.
look, this is what happens when you underestimate women. Yeah, you get your head blown off by your own tack. Theme throughout the whole film.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, but the first like 2/3 of the movie, you're doing a really awkward like pushing of that theme. Because frankly, our character is a little incompetent. She gets the rope on the axe and she catches like 8 rabbits, but then she loses to the bear. Just outright, just the dog has to bail her out. She loses to the wildcat, the lion, right?
Mhm.
She loses to her brother's friends.
Yeah, loses to her brother's friends. And her brother, War Chief brother, who is fantastic. Great fight scene with him. He comes in with that horse, and I'm like, fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
That was
cool.
a really good scene. I
Yeah.
liked
That's
it
it.
a lot.
Yeah,
That
scene
was a
so-
postman scene.
Right, it was.
He was coming through with some mail.
Right. And I was like, okay, so she loses to Predator probably once or twice, and then she takes a W on the third one, and I'm like, okay, I get that we can do that, but I don't call her War Chief just yet. That's all I'm saying.
She's the only chief.
No,
She's the only war.
no.
Well, everybody else died, so she's what's
I'm saying,
left.
Yeah, she
She's
might
heir to the
just get
throne.
positioned up on that one. The tribal chief comes out and says, I'm War Chief now too. I'm gonna go hunt you. You still have to do this.
This is like a Starship Troopers
Yeah.
priority list. Like you just get shot to the
You
top,
shot-
the more people
Yeah.
die.
Yeah, I mean, if that is the case, she's like the only hunter left in the tribe.
Yeah.
But the tribe immediately dies afterwards because they no longer have enough hunters to sustain the.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly she wasn't a hunter though.
No, she
She
was.
caught a lot of rabbits.
Yeah, eventually, but
Then she
It-
got
it-
the rabbit, Jill.
Yeah.
she is.
But they can't eat the
gatherer
predator.
At the start of this.
Ew,
She
no
literally
gatherer.
has a basket. She is a gatherer,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and
She
she's
is-
not happy about it.
yeah. So girl power was. I mean, that I won't lie. That was gonna be my question. Was the girl power in this movie too cringe?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Girl power exceeded.
Okay.
Went to girl cringe.
But men, is the opinion that matters. What do where's the based on 3 men writing women on this one, just like the movie.
Yeah.
What did we think on the girl? Mason Nathan.
I mean, I think that it was definitely hand-fisted, but I mean, it was good. Like, it was just like honestly, I couldn't have told you that there was another female in this entire movie besides the grandmother.
Grandmother mom.
Whoever
Grandmother
she
mom.
was, yeah, and I barely,
Pretty sure
I
she's
don't
just
even
an
really
older mom.
remember
I
her.
think she's just the mom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Time was tough back then, guys. You were almost
It's
dying
true.
every day.
every day.
Yeah, you have French
Life
white people
expectancy
blasting.
was
you.
like 42,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, she didn't look that old.
No.
She
Nathan.
kind of had gray hair though, right?
Yeah, she had
Yeah.
gray hair, but that's pretty
Yeah, I
standard.
mean it's terrible.
Yeah.
Like it's so ham-fisted, and it's such a tired trope.
Mm-hmm.
Like the story of a girl needing to prove herself to the men sucks.
Mhm.
Now
Mhm.
we've seen it enough. It's tired. Like we should just move past it. We get it. We know.
Alright, I've got a better question.
Okay, go for it. Go for it.
I don't think Nathan's seen. Is it End War or Infinity War?
Either.
Okay, sorry. I guess I should
Endgame.
explain
There's
myself.
Infinity War or Endgame. There's the
That's
first one
fine.
and the second one.
Endgame.
Actually,
Whenever like Captain Marvel,
All the girls have
all
the
the girls
like,
come in, and
Out
then
of
you
the
just
girl
have this,
portal?
That scene was fine.
Oh, okay. Because I thought
Yeah.
that was a bit.
So we had
way
You
over
can't
the
have
top.
one
We
scene
had
of people walking towards a fight. The
Pepper
lead-
has
All
rescued
girls.
Valkyrie.
So? And
Miss
the
Marvel.
line was like, "Don't worry, boys, we got this," or something
Yeah.
like that. It
I
wasn't
mean, the,
just
the
like that.
line was probably
Bah,
a bit much,
bah,
but seeing the
bah,
lineup-
bah,
It would have been better with that music.
Yeah,
It
if
would've
they-
I think I probably liked it more because I know everyone hates Captain Marvel, and I'm like, she's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I hate
true.
Captain
When
Marvel.
people hate Captain Marvel and
It
then
just
she
makes
does
you just
something
like-
cool, I'm just like, yeah, come on, Captain
Okay,
Marvel.
follow up question. Do you hate Miss or Captain Marvel? Or do you hate
Her
Brie
movie
Larson?
sucked.
Her
and
movie
Brie
was not
Larson's
good.
a
Her movie did
bitch.
not suck.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna
Captain
pick every
Marvel
Brie
was
Larson
great.
Yeah,
I
every
watched
from
it.
now
I
on.
didn't like
We
it.
haven't done.
I don't care.
Scott
I
Pilgrim.
like
You're
Or Room.
incorrect.
Or Room, yeah.
And I don't know what Brie Larson's like as a person, so I can't.
Yeah,
comment.
never met her. Don't know.
I've never met her. I just get the impression that she rubs people the wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I've never been, figured out why.
Yeah, if you ever see her in interviews or anything, you'd get it.
Yeah. I kind of just prefer in Scott Pilgrim, but I prefer most people in Scott Pilgrim, to be fair, though. That's everybody's best form. Michael Cera. Definitely Mary Elizabeth Winstead's.
Yeah.
No question.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Evans, even.
Chris
actually.
Evans is fun.
Yeah.
Chris Evans is in that movie?
Yeah. Movie's great. I'm going to pick that eventually. Anyways, other thought. We got anything to beat up on? Girl power? Okay, we've hit 10 now.
The lion couldn't roar,
Yeah.
even though it roars in that.
Oh, because it's a mountain lion and they
Yeah.
scream.
Yeah. I did appreciate that one guy being like, yeah, the lion's too powerful. You'll never be able to kill it. It comes out of nowhere. Ah! Like,
Yeah, that was good.
I'm gonna lie. I was like, all right,
I thought honestly the Predator gotten him. More
Yeah.
so. I was kind of surprised there was actually
and it
a
was
lion.
actually just a mountain
I was like,
lion.
oh, there's actually a lion here.
More of a side quest, really.
Yeah,
Right.
I realized that.
I appreciated that the movie was allowing us to have at least that much fun with it, because I think a good Predator movie, really any of the good like 80s franchises is going to balance that line between taking itself seriously enough for you to be like fuck yeah at the fuck yeah moments, but also being silly enough to be like, what the fuck are we doing here?
Yeah.
You know, because it's
Like,
like
this thing wins 10
That's
times out of
That's
10,
the
you know.
beauty of that era.
yeah.
And
it's
lost.
it's got just enough cheese, but just enough machismo to balance
and
out.
this ain't it.
This ain't it.
This did not hit that mark
Mm.
that the originals did.
Okay. Okay.
I have a fun fact about the movie.
Okay.
What?
It's perhaps the only movie that's ever been fully dubbed in Comanche.
Really?
That's
I
a
saw
fantastic
that.
I
fact.
think it's
so
done by the
cool.
actors too.
Nice.
Wow.
So that's neat.
Maybe they ended up
That's
just landing on
awesome.
Comanche because so many of the actors were Comanche, and they just said, "Oh, it's just easier to go." With
Are
that.
the actors Comanche?
I have no idea, but if they dubbed over by the actors, you would assume.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah.
I don't know, but that's really cool.
No, that's
I
neat.
think you can watch it on Hulu in like
You
fully
can.
dubbed.
Oh,
I
I
was
should have
gonna
watched
say,
it in
so
Comanche.
fun fact, I had it on that because I thought it would actually give me some freaking subtitles
Yeah.
Oh,
while
does
they
it
were
not?
speaking. No.
Oh no!
Oh,
yeah, even
no.
Oh, that's fun.
that part did bother me. I'm glad you bring that up.
So
'cause
I put
forgot
on the
about it.
audio and it said English. I guess it did say Comanche. It said English something dubbed,
Right.
and I was like, maybe. And then it just, it had no idea what they were saying.
I was
So,
irritated whenever it would. Yeah, it would give the subtitles were just the words but
Yes.
not actually translated.
Not
just
the yeah.
like here's what it would be written in English, and I'm like, what the fuck good is that? Like, I want to know what racial slur they just called this woman.
Yes.
I
Like,
think the point is you have to learn Comanche now.
I'm low.
But think of all the doors that'll open up, all the people you'll
You
be
can go
able
to Canada.
talk
Yeah.
to.
I'm already going to
Or
Canada.
wherever.
Not Canada.
You can go to
They went to
Canada.
Canada.
That's not where they're from.
They filmed
I was
in
actually
Canada.
just that tech. I keep going to all the places this movie was actually wanting me to be, and then while I'm actually going to where it was actually shot. This is the year of prey for me, based on my travels. Fat, Thin, Perfectly Fit. Shape of the movie.
It's fat.
Fat.
It's very fat.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how long it is.
It's an
but
hour
we,
and 39 minutes.
we like
Yeah,
there's like commercial breaks.
Okay,
and
it was
What?
fun because of the commercials on.
All right.
Yeah,
well, you
like,
can't. You're not
that's
gonna.
what I was gonna say.
Hour.
That's
I won't
what I'm
fault
saying.
when we wait
Yeah.
for the who.
Not too far into
Yeah.
like whenever the first commercial break came on, I was just like, this movie sucks.
Yeah, you did
And
already
at
have your
that point,
review
Yeah.
I
ready
was
at that
already
point.
thinking like
He was
at
writing down
this
all the
point,
thesis points.
The
Yeah.
movie could start after this commercial break, and I wouldn't have cared about anything that I missed up until
Yeah,
this point.
it had one of those kinds of vibes.
Nathan's like,
early
I should have
on.
watched this on a small little box corner
Yes.
while also
Yeah.
watching
While
another
watching
video.
a movie.
Yeah, while watching Predator
While watching
2.
the real
Yeah. Jill.
I don't feel like I can call it fat. Just because I don't like parts of it doesn't mean it's a fat movie. I think it's fit, I guess.
I guess question.
Asterisk.
Yeah. I tend to think that this movie lends pretty fit. There's not many parts I'm thinking like I would cut. I do, if anything, there's an argument to say I might even say it's a little thin. I could add some stuff to this, like what we just described earlier, fleshing out the Predators. Like, oh, they're there for like their like, I don't know, Rumspringer or for whatever you're gonna call it in Predator. You know, like they're there because they're just like a punk kid who just gonna like go
Would
prove
you
you're
love
adult.
to see that, like they're just here on spring break.
And then
They
yeah.
come to they come to Earth for that.
Just
Honestly,
casually murdering
That's
people.
what they would have done in the old 80s films. They would have given us like Predator 4 and you would have seen like they would have had like the fucking
It would have been
the
fourth or
Jewish
fifth
hat and
one.
everything,
Oh
and
my
it would have implied that it's like
The yarmulke?
yeah, the
Jewish
yarmulke,
yarmulke.
and this is their this is their whole little like graduation
I
to
feel like
adulthood.
you're thinking about Amish people.
Yeah, you're
and getting them confused.
I know I'm
with
getting
Jewish
Amish and
people.
Jewish, but now listen, it's all Rumspringer to me.
Like,
So
they both
Okay.
wear hats, but like not the same. Still.
listen, I just know I almost murder a Amish family every single time I go home because they're always on the 54 highway, and you're going
Oh,
way too
no.
fast on that
Yeah.
one.
Oh,
You
we're
go right
gonna
around the
slow
corners.
down for the horses.
Yeah.
Never do. You
Where's
just
the
run
bunnies?
right around them. Anyways, they almost caused mini wrecks. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say it's pretty fit. I think that this movie, unfortunately and fortunately, knows what it is,
Yeah.
and they ride that wagon. That wheel might be a little shaky towards the tail end of it, but they're gonna ride it until that wheel falls off, and it doesn't linger too much. I mean, if anything, Nathan's probably correct on the fact that like the early Indian tribe, Native American tribe stuff that they are kind of phoning in. I could probably do without some of that, just because like I get it.
Mhm.
You have a tribe, I get that, but I still really like the timeline, the date, I guess,
The
where
setting.
they're
The
exactly
1700s.
Yeah.
yes, because you don't see that, and sure, let's throw a freaking predator in there. Like I
Mhm.
want to see one. I don't know, around like Caesar time,
Do you want to see something like this but better?
maybe.
Cowboys versus aliens.
I've
Yeah.
seen that whenever it first came out, but I don't remember
Just
much
put it
of
on
it.
the wheel for next time.
Yeah.
I do
Pretty
think
good.
now that I've seen this movie, they missed an opportunity to call this Predator versus Settler.
Yeah. Predator versus Settler.
Yeah, that one
Alright.
rolls off the tongue, but
Pretty
yeah,
fit for me though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's pretty fit. I kind of agree. It drags a little bit at the very beginning, but it's weird because it's a Predator movie and they're also trying to establish this setting.
Mhm.
So they have to do something to be like, here's where we are, here's who our
Mhm.
characters are. Which I mean, I liked it. I think it's pretty fit. Yeah.
Hmm.
And I've never even seen a Predator movie. I'm just gonna put that out
Until
there.
now.
Until now. So this is my first
This is our
Predator
first
movie.
This is
Predator
your
movie, Nathan.
This is going to be their impression of
Such a
Predator for
disappointment.
the rest of the
It's only gonna
time.
go up from here.
Yeah.
Think of it like that. I mean, if
It is.
like AVP is
Wait.
solid.
AVP
Oh,
is actually pretty
AVP
good.
is a
Great.
lot of
Honestly.
fun. It's like an early 2000s, I think,
Yeah.
and it's
I
I
it's
just
a
watched it the other
it's
day.
a little too much cheese, but the notes are
It's
still right
ridiculous.
on the serious stuff. It is
Oh,
ridiculous.
it's very ridiculous.
It
Took
is
me a
very
second
good.
to realize you were talking about Alien versus Predator, not Assistant Vice President.
Or volleyball.
Like
Yeah.
AVP, like oh
AVP.
AVP for da 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 da. I'm like,
Right.
Mhm.
nope. Alien versus Predator, guys.
Annabeth,
Nope, that's
go ahead.
a movie.
Yo-yo our scores back this
Okay,
way.
okay. Okay, so things that worked for me, I liked the setting. And I liked the character okay. Like, she wasn't terrible. A little too girl cringe. But having never seen a Predator movie before, I was thinking, like, this is an action movie where they fight an alien guy thing. And I would probably like this just as much as any other movie like that. So it's very middle of the road for me. But the setting made it more unique. And the dog lived. So I'm going to give it... See, I didn't love it. But...
She
like-
started and then she was like, "That's
I know, I was
Wait a
like,
minute,
all the
that
things
sucks.
that worked
Yeah.
for me,
You
but
heard her
also,
immediately take it down a point. Like,
Yeah. I'm gonna give it a 5 because I was just very
Mm.
middle of the road. It was almost a 4.5, but the dog lived, so.
That's
Solid
worth half a
5.
point. Keep
It
that
is,
in mind.
Yeah.
it is. Solid 5.
Yeah. Don't let her watch I Am Legend.
Yeah.
No, I'm
If
never
If you ask
watching
me,
that.
The dog should die.
Or John
Nah.
Wick.
Like that's
No,
how you
why would
gotta
the
have
dog
stakes.
die?
No, the dog dying sets the
I
whole
mean, the
premise
brother,
of John
the
Wick in
mother, the
universe,
whole
so-
tribe does die though.
The
So
mother
it's
doesn't
like,
die.
Yeah, she.
Doesn't
It's
die eventually.
The
the
mom-
1700s, Mason.
Well.
They're quite dead.
Oh.
You're right.
But.
Yeah, she's not long for this world. but
Yeah.
She didn't
No.
die during the movie.
Right.
Yeah, she lived, and the girl lived, and everyone else died. But,
Mm.
also one thing I was gonna say, like, the suspense worked for me. I think, like, again, I've never seen a Predator movie, so I was just, like, very, like, oh, what's this thing doing? What's gonna happen?
Mhm.
And I think, like, for all its faults, the movie still, like, was very suspenseful, and I was like, ooh, Predator's scary,
Yeah.
Also, the axe thing didn't make sense, but looked so cool. The, like, axe,
leash.
axe,
Yeah, we
axe.
like an axe on the
Yeah,
rope.
I like it. I don't care if it makes sense.
Those are notoriously some of my favorite weapons in games.
You know
Like,
what?
if there's an axe on a rope or
5.5, the
something.
axe is cool.
Ooh.
Oh, all right.
Let her go. Keep going. Keep
The
going.
dog-
Annabeth.
dog and the
I'm
axe.
We'll get to
done.
a 10.
And the dog even did use the axe a little bit too. They did
Yeah.
have a
The
combo
dog
attack.
knew how to fetch.
Yeah.
Mm.
Does that just round it to a 6 at that point?
No,
Nah.
5.5 is high as I'm
She's met her
going.
limit.
If you
Yes,
keep
you
going,
are.
she'll get
Your
to a
turn.
10 eventually.
I thought the limit did not exist. That's what Lindsay Lohan taught me.
Yeah, the
Mason.
dog is actually a native dog too.
It seems like it.
Hell
Came
yeah.
across on the Bering Land Bridge, kind of like native species of dog.
It looked like a
Don't tell me
dingo.
that. I'll make it a 6.
Yeah.
No, this is a 5.5.
That dog, they started training that dog 2 or 3 months before the movie started,
Yeah.
Really?
and I think it was a rescue.
Oh, even better.
Are you just saying things now to make
Can
me
I
bump
get you
my
to a 10?
It's
Were
Amber
Were you
Midthunder.
making those things up? Oh.
No.
I mean, I think the rescue thing is true. The dog definitely had only had like 2 or 3 months training.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's wow.
Midthunder actually did adopt that dog, though. That did happen.
6.
Nah.
Oh, wait, you
No,
lied,
it did.
you
No,
lied.
that's a real fact. That's a real fact. She adopted that dog in the same way. What's his face?
Adopted
Adopted
his
the horse. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who
Okay.
adopted a horse?
She said 6.
What's his face?
Vigo?
Aragorn.
Yeah, Aragorn from Lord of the Rings.
Viggo
yeah,
Mortensen.
Vigo.
He adopted his horse.
Probably
Yeah.
has a whole
And he
ranch.
bought horses for a bunch of the cast.
Yeah,
He's
he
like
did.
such a horse boy.
He's a horse boy.
Yeah, I mean, look at him.
We love him.
Yeah.
Horse boy.
5.5 question mark.
Yeah. We're
It's
gonna,
the current
we're gonna
score
iron that
now.
out later.
Yeah.
This movie, I feel like for a pretty surprise Predator movie, that was its best thing that it had going. I watched it when it first came out, had no idea. Hulu originals suck typically. They
True.
are awful.
They are so
They're
bad.
so terrible.
This
But-
is a Hulu original.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
in
a Hulu original.
theaters?
No, this came out. It was just straight to streaming.
It was
which-
pretty much a stealth drop on the stream.
Imagine your surprise if you're just like, oh, a brand new movie, and then all of a sudden a fucking Predator comes out.
Yeah.
Had no idea. Like, that's the best part of this movie.
I love, for the record, Mason, that you continually watch Hulu movies knowing that they're notoriously almost all bad.
No,
but you,
listen,
but
they're
you,
a numbers
the one or
game.
two that you pluck,
No.
you're like, delightful.
They're a quantity over quality, like fresh.
I was gonna say,
It's
what
the
was
same
what was
thing.
the one with Winter Soldier eating people? Yeah, fresh.
Yeah, Fresh.
Yeah,
What?
It was a yeah.
yeah.
Is
Spoiler.
that one of those cannibal movies that came out in that long run of cannibal movies? And by
No,
long
it
run,
came out
I
way
mean,
after.
Like 2 or 3
Yeah, it just came out a
cannibal
couple
movies,
years ago.
but still.
We watched it last season.
Yeah.
But anyways, unfortunately on rewatch I was able to like kind of pick this thing a little bit further, and I didn't love it nearly as much. Much like Big Hero 6, it was the same type vibe. It just wasn't. Didn't take 10 years to do it.
When the axe came back to the hand, you didn't like
Exactly.
it as much.
It was a little too bloody.
Yeah.
Where I did think that they did really well and they knew what they had was all the green goop. The green stuff in this movie, it's just like in Sinister, so there's something about just green like fluid that I think works. It's
Okay, until you hit the word fluid,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, I get it. But
when I think of this movie, I think of the poster with the green, and now I'll never
Watch
forget
Exorcist
just
and see what
random
his take is on that.
random
just-
parts of that thing's body just like glowing green.
Yeah.
Like, I
I'm
think
just
that's
feeling
one
that
of the coolest
Nickelodeon slime had a profound
Right.
effect
things.
on
Yeah,
you.
Slime Time was great.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. It wasn't.
He was a Nick kid.
It wasn't
right?
glowy enough though.
Right.
But all things being said like that, I think this movie's fine. I think it's
I was gonna get my Predator action figures and set them out.
and
I've
just
got-
like arrange
so
them.
I've got a glow in the dark Predator.
Do you?
Okay.
Oh, can we do your score in the dark with it?
Yeah.
Film that at the end as a bonus
There we
feature.
go.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
do
then
more
edit
work
it
for this
in.
podcast.
Right.
Yes.
This will be the first
Um,
thing worth editing in a second, then. So.
Well, I'll go put my Nick Cage outfit on
There
and
we
we can do
go.
the bonus feature for last episode if you want to.
Perfect.
Say that score out loud, Mason. What is it?
6.5. I still enjoyed it. I think
Okay.
it's a pretty fun movie. I think to Nathan's point, the whole self-destruct thing. The only way this girl had a chance in the end is if he started to just give up pieces of himself along the way.
Yeah.
He killed the Frenchman with a grenade. He killed, this thing with that. Like, he was losing bits of himself all throughout this movie. So that was the only way she stood a chance. That's the only headcanon I've got. So
I mean, she's no Arnold.
No. she's
no,
not.
no,
Yeah.
she doesn't have machine guns.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the Predator was actually scared of those Frenchmen and their guns, even though those guns proved to do nothing.
Yeah. He literally.
all
he
movie.
got shot once, and it did like rip through him, and he had to he did his healing.
Yeah. He had the
thing.
healing gel.
That, and she also shot him like point blank in the back of the head. With
Yeah.
the mask.
Yeah.
Well, it turns out that'll still hurt you.
So yeah, surprising that
Didn't
wouldn't
kill
have
him.
killed him right there.
Knocked off
but
his face
I guess
mask,
their
but-
brain's not in the same spot or
I'm
something.
willing to. They've got a pretty buggy face. I'm willing to believe that
Buggy.
everything's
that
like in
it's
their
just
core.
like a distributed brain.
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe.
His brain's probably in his butt or something. We never see that.
They'll
stuff
never
like that.
see it coming,
You know what? If the brain is in the butt, I'm giving this movie an 8. But until that's confirmed, I'm gonna give it a 7.5. I had a fun time with this film. It has its flaws. It's definitely girl power, but as one of the 3 male writers on this film, I think that it translated really well. I think generally fine, and maybe I'm blinded by the fun attractionness of Amber Midthunder, but I didn't find her totally intolerable. There were times where I'm like, the movie's trying to tell me that she's this when she keeps showing me that she's this,
Mhm.
and then it only kind of comes together at the very, very end. But
She turns into an absolute badass
yeah,
for like 12 minutes of this movie.
right. But then there's just some like fun fight scenes, and we didn't talk enough about like the menacing French and then how they get humbled. And I fucking love seeing French people humbled. Top 3 favorite things in my life.
Oh my God.
Fuck the French, dude. Like, if you're a French viewer, I don't know what to tell you, man. You know, the only thing that would have been better, truly, if I knew it was French Canadian, because them in specific are so fucking terrible.
It's funny because like this level of commentary means that you have either been to France or like
You've
French
been wronged.
Canada.
Yeah,
Like,
I've been French
You
Canadian.
have personally interacted with a French person
Correct.
to have this feeling about. The
I
French.
absolutely have.
Wait, Canadian or actual French?
No, Canadian. But,
Okay.
Which is why I prefer them, but
Yeah.
Knowing that they've just
They
inherited bad
connect.
French traits.
Yeah, they
What's-
connect.
What's wrong with Quebec?
Quebec, for the record, is a
Quebec.
fucking disgusting hub of people. And as soon as you get into the car and you sit there and they say bonjour, hello, and then you say hello, and then they're like, light cigarette, what do you want? You know, and then they don't even say anything else. They are not interested in whatever you have to say or what you're going on, or they're even going to take you to the right place. The fucking French Canadian are the worst.
Say I had that experience when I was there.
Oh, I had so many of those experiences, almost exclusively those experiences. But neither here nor there. That's not the point. And actually, thinking about it, if this was shot in Canada, then those probably were French Canadians.
Oh yeah.
7.5.
Oh,
It
sure.
lands the stick
Yeah.
landing on that one. If I find out if it's Predator's brains in its butt, though, 8.
Mm.
So put an asterisk next to
I'll
that.
put another
Yeah.
question mark.
Otherwise, I had a lot of fun with this movie. The brother, like, kind of annoying, but he has a sick fight with him, and he proves why he's War Chief so-and-so. And then he's just like, oh, yeah, he can turn invisible. Yeah, I'm done, sis.
Nah.
GG. Like,
I'm
this is...
gonna opt out of this fight.
Right, yeah, and then she eats the cold flower that makes her blood cold. I thought that was fucking
That
cool.
was cool.
It was cool.
That was cool.
Yeah, and
Immediate
I
effect.
like the flower too.
too.
she makes him shoot himself in the head with it and gets him with the trap that she got by. It's cool. Like, it's enough. But I will say, if I rewatch this again, I'd probably pick on it more, and I could probably be where you guys are at. But as a first watch, 7.5. I had fun.
Well, I didn't like the movie,
Mhm.
but things I did
Up
like
the hill,
about
down
it
the hill.
was I really enjoyed her ending fight scene with the Predator. I thought, like, I don't usually care for action scenes, but I really enjoyed that. Thought
Mm.
it was very fun, high-paced, all kinds of good stuff. I liked the
The
setting.
dog combo.
Him just levitating out of the quicksand that she almost died in.
Yeah.
Not like a
Yeah,
day
he's
prior.
A lot taller.
Yeah, he's like 8 foot tall.
There's a bottom to any
Any
pool like that.
Yeah, but like he's literally like treading water
yeah,
upwards or
but he
something.
landed face down, so he got his feet under him. And he was still,
Okay,
you know,
maybe that is
because
true.
he cream pied himself into it. You know, he went face first down. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that. I like the setting. I like the idea of the movie. I like the idea of not thinking of her as anything but that she beats him. That was fun. I honestly, as much as I hated her using the axe for hunting, the axe on the dumb rope was really fun.
Yeah.
I did enjoy it. It was stupid, but some things that are stupid you get to enjoy anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't like her, which is a big part of the movie.
Yeah.
I
it was-
find
Yeah.
her very
The whole
annoying and kind of dumb, even though she's supposed to be very smart. There was just a lot of things that I did not enjoy about the movie, so I think of it as a 4.
Ooh.
Jill, you started so big.
I know.
Well, we hadn't praised it enough. Like, there were good things about it,
Parentheses girl power.
but I did not enjoy my time with it.
Instead.
Yeah. Nathan.
Yeah.
Are we
this
going
movie's
lower than a 4?
This movie's a big disappointment.
Oh no.
The
hill's going way down.
I hear Predator. I love Predator.
Yeah.
That was like, as a kid, those were my favorite movies. I got all the action figures. Love it. Love Alien too. Like, hugely into that sort of stuff as a kid.
Mhm.
Like,
the 80s
dinosaurs, Predators, Aliens, that was my thing.
Mhm.
And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Anyway. This had a lot of potential in concept and in some ways in how they started to execute on it, but trying to shoehorn in so aggressively this like female empowerment story, I don't like that being in there, and I've seen it so many times. I'm tired of it. I think it's
doesn't like
boring.
female empowerment.
Yeah, I want Nathan to be the exec set these play. Haven't we got enough of those movies?
Look,
Not in my Predator films. That's all I'm asking. Put it in Alien.
It can be done well.
Mhm.
Tomb Raider, she's awesome.
Yeah.
I strong female characters are awesome, but a character who's constantly like having to prove herself like that, I just find very annoying. And I spent most of this movie annoyed and disappointed with basically everything that was happening. There wasn't really a lot of moments that I thought were all that cool either. This, I don't know, like maybe a 2.5.
You said maybe. I need
Maybe,
to
yeah, I mean,
confirm this.
We've got a lot of asterisks.
What if the brain's in the butt?
Is it higher if the brain's in a butt?
It should be.
What if the dog dies?
7.
I mean,
Damn.
Nathan hates children and
I honestly
dogs.
probably wouldn't have really. It's who cares? Like this movie.
I feel like you were rooting for the predator to win.
Yeah.
He's
Sure,
always rooting
yeah,
for the Predator to
was
win.
also really cool. I liked his
Predator-
little skull mask.
Yeah.
The Predator is the coolest thing about a Predator movie.
It's true. Yeah. It's not Arnold. It's not Mid
Like
Thunder.
Arnold's cool, but the Predator's cooler.
All right.
And you know the flower thing that Joel mentioned. We didn't talk about that, but
That was a cool
that is a like I get it, but it's also not at all.
Don't say it's not
Possible.
scientifically accurate because a predator landed on the planet, okay?
Yeah.
Like it's not at all reasonably possible because if you were to lower your body temperature that much, you're not doing anything.
You wouldn't be able to stand there.
Like
Yeah.
you can't stand. Like you're dizzy, falling over, sick to your stomach. You're not having a good time.
We could also say that the position that she put the mask in, you know, like the big, like, ooh, got you moment,
Yeah, like-
it had to have been perfect for him to
Yeah.
elevate a
Yeah.
certain
Yeah.
Like,
amount.
what are the odds?
Okay, so like the
Right.
fight scene that I'd like.
Yeah.
I wish her big ending kill would have been with her dumb axe.
Yeah.
It'd been really funny if it just hits his
Oh.
leg and then he gets up and murders her after the fact, right?
With her
I
own
think the
axe.
reason she's such a big disappointment is because she's trying to prove herself and she just never does.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then at the
Like,
end,
yeah.
she...
oh, I'm
there's-
so cool, I can go hunt, and then she doesn't hunt.
Mhm.
This
Yeah.
is not a
Begs the
story of a
question.
character like proving themselves out,
Mhm.
really, to anybody except for herself, I guess, at the very end by actually defeating the monster. But
Yeah.
it doesn't feel super earned. He's been injured multiple times, lost all kinds of weapons.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Well, just because he's dumb doesn't mean.
No, but it
Listen.
really
I
does
mean,
feel
he's
like
dumb.
that's...
As predators
Yeah.
go, one of the dumbest predators.
Right. But I think, to your point, right, she does kind of get the participation trophy in this one because it feels like he had to go through a whole army, a bear, a literal, like, war chief brother, all of the other, like, tribes folks, and then she gets to finish him off after he's all beat up and all tore up, and she's like, look, I did it.
Yeah.
And it was like...
Like I shot him in the back of the head.
Yeah.
Took his weapons.
And he had been, like,
I mean-
impaled, cut off, right?
How is
She
shooting
broke
him
one
in
of
the
his-
back of his head, breaking his crap, and taking his weapons not
'Cause that-
winning?
Well,
Like, that's how you win.
because his brain's in his butt, and that's why she didn't
Also,
win.
she said something about, like, we need to get to more, like, safe ground. I guess she was talking about the Frenchman? Because in theory,
Well, yeah, but she wouldn't know if there were more of the
I don't know.
predators.
That was probably her first time.
Oh.
Yeah, for sure.
Frenchie McAmputee getting killed, though, was a little funny. He just gets stepped
Oh, he
on.
was Italian.
What?
Things I don't care about, Jill.
What?
He hung out with the French,
He
alright?
was Italian.
like
He was a
Italian
French
translator.
sympathizer, and because of that, he had to go. That's my take on it. What do critics think about this
Yeah.
94 from critiques.
movie? Woo!
Really popular movie.
But only a
They're
74 from
so
audience.
wrong.
Well, okay, and I get why they would think this, though, because they probably dislike Predator as, like, a series in general with it, so anything that's like, oh, it's kind of like Predator, but this is, like, a movie that takes itself seriously, they would probably be like...
Nah, I'm with Nathan. I don't see them being
They're the
able to
inverse of like, what he's
accurately
looking for.
put that down. I don't
No,
think. I don't
94
think
is also crazy high.
That's
stupid
really high.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's that good. And I kind of liked it.
Yeah,
Nah, it's getting that 94. 'cause
yeah.
that
I'm right with the audiences on this
That's
one.
true.
Though.
The
Like,
2024 effect or the 2022 effect.
right. So,
Alright, I
but
think.
74% on the popcorn, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. Nathan, you want to give this a disappointing wheel spin?
I want you to go the opposite way out of just frustration.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't cut my fingers off.
spin off.
Doesn't it like?
I think it's fine.
Yeah. That
What
sounded
just
poor.
happened to it? I think I.
This is
I-
too
I-
too
You
tight.
Did you-
undid it. What is it?
Oh hey, that's my movie.
One Night Out
Finally.
What is it?
from Jill.
This is.
What we have to take a guess, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Wait,
One-
what did
One
it land
Night
at?
Out?
One
One
night
Night
out.
Annabeth, you start us off.
I'm not gonna guess because I know.
One night out.
Okay. This is this is The Hangover.
Yes, because I would choose The Hangover.
Yeah, I've only seen you pick one movie, and I don't know you don't like dumb comedies.
I really,
you know?
You've seen her pick 2 movies.
Yeah,
I have.
Because we co-picked.
Right, well, you guys co-pick,
the
so I don't
one.
count it, right? I want something totally unfiltered,
I
Jill.
hate dumb comedies. They're
Listen.
like my least favorite genre.
Man, it's weird that you didn't become a host until Bryce left then. Huh.
I'm gonna say Two Night Stand.
I don't even
I've
know what
seen
that
that
is.
movie.
Have you really?
Yeah,
Wow.
of course.
Okay.
I thought he was just
Wow.
memeing us.
No.
I
not
hope that
bad.
I go over
It's
Nathan.
not
Yeah, it's
great.
okay. It's
It's
got Miles
okay.
Teller. You wouldn't like it.
I wouldn't like it. He's got a very
Guess
controversial.
him.
Is it Miles Teller and Anna Kendrick?
No, it's
who's
Annalie
in that?
Tipton.
That's it.
Annalie
Yeah, that's it.
Tipton.
Anyway, that's not
What's
the
the movie though?
The movie is Someone Great.
Someone Great. Never heard of it. This movie's gonna suck. Oh my god.
That would be a fun. We went from girl power to movie about
Actually written by women.
Actual women.
Okay.
Actual
It
women.
could have just been Little Women. That movie was.
Oh my
delightful.
God.
That's a good movie.
That's
It
the
is.
best
Very good
movie.
We all agree. That movie's
I
great.
should have put that on the wheel.
You should have. It's a wonderful movie.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
Then I was like,
Can we watch that one instead?
No, we're not doing
no, but we can just also watch that sometime.
Yeah, well, it's got to go on the wheel.
We can do a double feature. You watch both of them. We'll talk about both of them.
Nathan will do all the homework. He'll
Yeah, he
probably
will.
watch all
Yeah,
of
I'm sure he loves movies about women.
Yeah.
it. You might have to
Someone
seek one out after
Someone
this
Great.
one.
Someone Great. Okay. Anyways, guys, that's our show. Make sure to tune in next week for Someone Great. If you like the content we're doing, as always, let us know in the comments below. What did you think? Did you feel like that predator needed to be more predatoring? Are there brains in their butts? And
That's the most important
That
question.
is the most important.
it is the most
Do
important.
they have butts? I mean, I guess to walk on
To walk on their
They
hind
gotta
legs, they
have
have to
butts.
have a
have
butt.
a butt.
Wait,
Yeah.
how did
But
they
you have
poop?
a hole.
They have a
Cloaca.
cloaca.
Yeah.
No.
If you've got
Everything
if
whole.
you've got predator anatomy facts, definitely drop those in the
Seriously,
comments
let
below.
us know.
Please.
We are so curious. We will check the comments on that one. If you like the content we're doing, as always, make sure to hit the bell so
No
that you
bell.
get notified whenever.
Seamless.
Sorry, Price is usually right here. God rest his soul.
He's over there. It was last time.
Last time, but that's been like a year ago.
It's just instinct, Jill. You don't,
Yeah, listen, he usually sits to my right. And then make sure to subscribe because we're trying to get to those 420 subscribers. Hey,
We're almost there.
Almost there.
We checked.
Yeah, we are. Anyways, until then,
No.
are we? I don't know. What's our
I
current
don't
count?
think so.
Can you put a number right here? Like edit in like 69 still? Just a quick
That's-
caption.
That's
It'll
Because
take
they'll
3
definitely
seconds.
look at the video and not just look
when
down.
this like when this uploads,
Listen, our viewers
it'll
are really
also be,
lazy.
like, at a completely different time frame.
Yeah,
Yeah. So just drop in that subscriber count right before you
right
upload
before,
it.
right
Yeah.
before we upload.
You know, with editing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Anyways,
thing you do.
That's
Just
our heavily
re-render the
edited video, guys.
for
Until
5
next time,
seconds.
Someone great.
Someone great.
It's
Okay.
on Netflix.
I keep wanting to say somebody. And
No,
then, and then I just go
someone.
into Smash Mouth in my head. So, and then it just cut right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.